Today I'm going to be making Alfredo sauce, which I'm actually going to be serving tomorrow. So this is important because I'm going to make just enough to fill this jar. Now the reason we're outside is because I'm going to head off into my garden and pick my own parsley for this. And also outside so that somebody in the house doesn't hear that there's butter in this recipe. So he has almost a bronchial reaction to butter melting, and you really can't make a proper Alfredo sauce without it. So wink, there's about to be butter melted in my house, and before he hears us, we're going to tell you right away it's 2 tablespoons. This is Parmesan cheese, and we're looking for 1/4 to 1/3 cup, which I am wearing this glove because I've had a few friends who work in kitchens get uptight with me for not wearing a glove while grating or peeling. So there you go. And for your measuring folk out there, I know you're out there wanting to know that I got exactly the amount that I said you need. I told you to go 1/4 to 1/3. Here's your 1/3 cup measurer, perfectly full. Okay, so 1/3 cup freshly grated Parmesan. And I'm doing 1 teaspoon of kosher salt. And here we have 2 tablespoons of plain white flour. So out to the garden I had gone to get my parsley, and unfortunately it really was nowhere near ready to harvest. So what I have here is a 1/4 cup measurer, and I'm going to suck it up and use some of the dried parsley. We need one last ingredient, milk. I am using whole milk. Usually you use cream, but I am using what I have in the house, which is milk. And I'm using 2 full cups of it. So necessary equipment, I have a pot going, and it's a 1-quart pot. Here's the size. It's on a medium heat. You're going to need a ladle, a spatula, a whisk, and in my situation, a canning jar. We're not really canning it, we're just holding it. So first things first, let's melt that aforementioned butter. He's now out of the house, so it doesn't have to be a big deal. He knows butter tastes good, but honestly, the smell of it melting, it sends something histamine into the air that he has a physical reaction to that's a little weird. It makes him cough, quite frankly, but I've never seen anybody like it before. So we're just going to melt this down, and we'll be back in a moment. This is going to go quite fast. Once we get it going, you can see right now that the butter is melted. So into that butter, I'm going to add the 2 tablespoons of flour, the 1 teaspoon of kosher salt, and because you know me, freshly ground pepper, and now we are whisking. See how smooth it is already? And like I said, this is going to go fast now that this is all together. Just start drizzling in the milk. Get each addition smooth and incorporated. say I'm doing about a quarter to maybe less than a quarter, an eighth of a cup each addition, whisking until incorporated. And the first half a cup to a cup can be a little bit difficult. But after that, it goes really quickly. And see, now I have about a cup left, maybe a little more. I could pretty much pour it straight in, but I don't wanna. I don't think it yields the same result. Alright, I have more than half of that in. I'm going to increase the heat so that this does come to a boil. The rest of the milk is in, and now it's time we're going to add all of the cheese at once. Cheese not only serves as flavoring, but it serves as a thickening agent as well. And once again, I do need this to come back to a boil. I'm going to let it set a moment, but I'm also going to take my spatula here and just make sure I haven't missed anything integral. And it looks perfect. Now, can I just state, things boil faster with the lid on. There seem to be a few people in my house that are allergic to lids, but it helps to hold the heat in. If you're just letting the heat run out, then you're never going to come to a boil. I mean, you will, but you've actually reduced it in the meantime. I do want it to reduce, but right now I currently want it to come to a boil. Almost there. I can hear it bubbling. I don't know if you can hear it bubbling. One of these recording devices must show it bubbling. When I see actual bubbles popping up, I'm going to reduce the heat. Now, I know it seems silly to reduce the heat, but it will actually hold the temperature that you had wanted it to reach once you reduce the heat. And if you leave it on full heat, what's going to happen is it will continue, the ingredients inside are going to get hotter and hotter and hotter. And this is when you have the milk scald to the pan and the butter burn, and you want it to reach a certain temperature, and then you want to maintain that temperature. So I definitely have the bubbles I'm looking for, and I have reduced about a third of the way that I would like to. So now I'm going to add in my dried oregano. Now, if I had used fresh oregano, I would have used in a whole cup. You're going to see a major change in this sauce almost immediately with this dried oregano. And I missed the sink. Excuse me. Never said I was a basketball player. So we're just going to let this continue to reduce. So this isn't thickening the way I would like it to, and again, it's because I used whole milk and not cream. So I've actually added half a stick of butter, and for each quarter of butter you use 2 tablespoons. So that is 2 quarters, and that is 4 tablespoons. And now we whisk again. I can actually already feel the thickness coming into this. That is so much better. Let's get that all incorporated. This is the sauce I was looking for. You can actually see the thickness in here now. I'm going to turn that heat right off. Alright. Now that we've achieved thickness, now it's time to achieve flavor. Now I am taking this beautiful sauce and in the jar it goes. because I am going to keep this sauce in the fridge overnight and let it develop flavors. There we go. 1 jar of freshly made Alfredo. And like I said, we're going to put this in the fridge. And then overnight it's going to get so thick that I'll probably have to add milk to it tomorrow. But I'm going to add it to some of my homemade pasta, which I actually have some nice ravioli full of chicken, cheese, and spinach that you saw me make before. And this is going to be the topper for that. But it is very thick, and I will need to add some milk to it tomorrow. I'll get a picture of this tomorrow and show you what it looks like, all done up and beautiful. So thank you for watching Cooking for Real. Today's lesson was in Alfredo. Of course, I made a couple of mistakes along the way, but the basics never really change. And those basics are butter, flour, salt, parsley, and Parmesan cheese. Cream if you got it, milk if you have to. Thank you so much for watching Cooking for Real today. I am Angela. If you like what I'm showing you, please like, comment, share, subscribe, all of those things that help out a page. I really appreciate you, and I'm glad to have you for an audience.